Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
YouTube, True FM, 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrier?
The black barrier is to tell Joseph Walker if you don't organize yourself in a respectful manner, we'll take your later like
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary at 12. My name is Hansen the represent. Welcome to News and Analysis, 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life, that's what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life, that's what I live, you know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads and stuff.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Information denies directives presidency. A rumor reportedly from the Ministry of Internal Affairs ordering employees to assemble at the Rabat International Airport this Wednesday to welcome President Joseph Walker in China. 5 civil society organizations have expressed dismay about ongoing political interruption by some county legislative caucuses and local government authorities, says it's undermined county council structures. Nigerian Senate confirms Finance Minister designate Augustine Gafon following his nomination by President Barker in August this year. And away from Liberia, the former boyfriend of Ugandan Olympic athlete, that's Rebecca Chidaka, has died from burns sustained in the attack after killing Rebecca last week. This plus many more, the news bulletin are packaged on today's edition of the program. Here is an Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited are our sponsors on the program News Desk. We'll take this break to be back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
YouTube, True FM, 96.1.
Bank Liberia Limited, let's bring you the news bulletin on the program. Following a memo reported from the Ministry of Internal Affairs that all 8 employees are to assemble at the RRA airport this Wednesday to welcome President Joseph Barker for China, the Ministry of Information has confirmed that no such directives have come from the presidency or government. The government, through the Ministry of Information, strongly refuted social media claims suggesting a mass gathering of employees from the Ministry of Internal Affairs at the Rabat International Airport to welcome the president. In a statement, Acting Minister of Internal Affairs Samuel Brown clarified that no directives has been issued regarding all government or all ministry employees to leave their duties in attend the reception for President Joseph Walker on Wednesday, September 11, 2024. And earlier communication circulating on social media had implied that all Internal Affairs Ministry's employees were asked to welcome the president upon his return. However, the latest release from the Internal Affairs Ministry says the information circulating on social media is not accurate. According to the release, only senior staff and members of the National Council of Chiefs of Liberia who are responsible for traditional ceremonies have been requested to participate. A conglomeration of 5 civil society organizations have expressed serious concern about ongoing political interruption by some that's county legislative caucuses and local government authorities, which they said is undermining council structures established across the country. The CSO actors made specific reference to Chapter 2, Subsection 2.3 and Chapter 9, Subsection 9 of the Local Government Act of 2018. The CSOs include the National Civil Society Council of Liberia, Integrity Watch Liberia, Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Accountability Lab Liberia, and NEMO Partners for Democratic Development. According to a joint statement issued by the CSOs, the Local Government Act is a cornerstone of Liberia's decentralization policy designed to strengthen local governance, foster accountability and transparency, and promote citizens' participation in decision-making processes at the local level. Reading the statement Tuesday on behalf of the CSO actors, the Executive Director of Integrity Watch Liberia, Harry Ado, said any attempt to interfere in the process will undermine efforts that represent a direct disrespect to the democratic values and principles of the Act of the 1986 Liberian Constitution and other good governance and accountability frameworks. Herado noted that the county councils were established by law and are the legitimate bodies charged with the responsibility to respect the interests or represent the interests of their counties, including developing local policies and overseeing implementation and tracking of priorities and targets of citizens-driven county development agendas. The collaborating civil society organizations at the same time revealed that the recent actions by some political actors who seek to manipulate these bodies for personal gain threaten to derail the process made in promoting inclusive governance, transparency, and accountability at the local level. Hero Ado also accused individuals he referred to as intruders of taking the form of undue interferences in council activities, intimidation of council members, and the imposition of decisions without proper consultation, which violate the spirit and intent of the Local Government Act. According to him, these developments do not indicate well for ongoing and future efforts and implement the Local Government Act that aids approve regulations as well as all national instruments. Meanwhile, the CSOs are calling on political and other actors, especially members of the legislature and executives, to respect the autonomy and independence of county councils articulated in the Local Government Act of 2018. Speaking at a joint press conference Tuesday, Harold Ido reminded individuals that the law clearly mandates that those councils are to operate independently, free from direct and indirect political interference, and guided by the collective will of the people they represent. He further explained that the legitimacy of these councils must be upheld. Their autonomy must not be compromised by individuals and groups seeking to advance personal or partisan agendas at the expense of good governance and collective will of the people. The Liberian Senate has finally confirmed Finance Minister designate Augustine Gaffon. Minister Gaffon was nominated on Wednesday, August 29, 2024, by President Joseph Boakai to replace Boema Kamara, who resigned as Minister of Finance and Development Planning. Tuesday confirmation of Augustine Gaffon by the House of Senate marks the Liberian economist resurfaced in government in his previous position as Minister of Finance. Augustine Gaffon served as Minister of Finance under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf before he was appointed as Minister of Foreign Affairs. He also served in Uganda as the African Development Bank's country manager before his appointment by President Joseph Boakai. The Ministry of Justice has confirmed the rearrest of 5 inmates who were involved in Sunday jailbreak at the Kakata Central Prison in Magibi County. The ministry earlier disclosed that about 47 inmates escaped the Calcutta Central Prison during the jailbreak late Sunday evening. Speaking Tuesday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, a media specialist at the Ministry of Justice, Abigail Besigi, said 2 persons were arrested the same day of the incident, while the other 3 were arrested during. Madam Besigi said the Ministry of Justice is working closely with the Liberian National Police to apprehend the remaining 42 inmates. She said 13 correction officers have been deployed at the facility. The chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, Dr. Benita Collins Andrews, has championed calls for budgetary support for the institution. Addressing the press conference Tuesday in Monrovia, Dr. Andrews said increased budgetary support for the council by national government will enhance the smooth operation of the agency. Dr. Andrews therefore highlighted some difficulties faced by the entity, ranging from lack of funding, limited human capacity building, among others. The LMDC boss cautioned or used the occasion to urge health workers to be professional at their various places of work, reminding them of the possibility of possible risks and consequences to patients if they go against their ethics. According to Dr. Andrews, malpractice is a serious threat to the well-being of citizens and the society at large, adding that it is punishable by law anyone found in that's unprofessional acts. At the same time, Dr. Benita Collins Andrews emphasized that the Liberia Dental Council is an autonomous agency established in 2010 by an act of national legislature charged with the inclusion of responsibility to regulate and monitor medical practices in Liberia. She, however, called for strong political will to ensure that medical laws are equitably implemented. The National Identification Registry is poised to celebrate Global Identification Day that's Monday, to be observed as a working holiday. Global Identification Day is commemorated on September 16 each year to raise awareness on the importance of legal identity for all, aiding with that's alarming with United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 1629 for the provision of legal identity, including birth registration, to all people by 2030. Speaking Tuesday at a press conference, NIRO Executive Director Andrew Peters said the day is celebrated to lift the plight of millions of people around the world who do not have a legal identity. According to him, the day was celebrated under the global theme, celebrating the right to be visible, marking the second commemoration in Liberia. President Joseph Baka is expected to serve as the keynote speaker of the occasion. And away from Liberia, the former boyfriend of Ugandan Olympic athlete Rebecca Chiutika, who killed her by setting her on fire, has died from wounds sustained in the attack, a Kenyan military or hospital official has said. The Dixie Dami killed the maritime runner as she returned from church more than a week ago. He then induced her with petrol and set her ablaze. Local authorities said the two have been in conflict over a small piece of land in northwest Kenya, where Chiptika lived and trained. That's the news bulletin. Let's take a break to be right back.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV,
Truth FM 96.1.
what's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala if you don't organize yourself in your grateful manner, we'll keep your plate.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected.
That's here on Truth 96.1 and Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. I'm John C. Bantoma presenting. If you are just joining us in one of our top developments, Ministry of Information denies directives from the presidency. A memo reportedly from the Ministry of Internal Affairs ordering employees to assemble at the Rabat International Airport Wednesday to welcome President Joseph Boakai from China. Let's now bring you our first development on the program. A conglomeration of 5 civil society organizations have expressed serious concern about ongoing political interruption by some county legislative caucuses and local government authorities, which they said is undermining county council structures established across the country. The CSO actors made specific reference to Chapter 2, Subsection 2.3 and Chapter 9, Subsection 9 of the Local Government Act of 18. For reading the joint statement Tuesday on behalf of the CSO actors, the Executive Director of Integrity Watch Liberia, Harold Ado, said any attempt to interfere in the process will undermine efforts that represent a direct disrespect to the democratic values and principles of the Act of the 1986 Liberian Constitution and other good governance and accountability frameworks.
The National Civil Society Council of Liberia, Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Accountability Lab Liberia, and numerous partners for democratic development are deeply concerned about ongoing political intrusion by some county legislative caucuses and local government authorities to undermine county council structures that have been established across Liberia in accordance with Chapter 2, Subsection 2.3, and 9, Subsection 9 of the Local Government Act of 2018. The Local Government Act is a cornerstone of Liberian decentralization policy designed to strengthen local governance, foster accountability and transparency, and promote citizens' participation in decision-making processes at the local level. Any attempt to undermine these efforts represent a direct affront to the democratic values and principles of that act, the 1986 Liberian Constitution, and other good governance and accountability frameworks and bodies. The county councils, as established by law, are the legitimate bodies charged with the responsibility to represent the interests of their counties, including developing local policies, overseeing implementation, and tracking of priorities and targets of citizens-driven county development agendas. Unfortunately, recent action by some political actors who seek to manipulate these bodies for personal gains threaten to derail the progress made in promoting inclusive governance, transparency, and accountability at the local level. These intrusions have taken the form of undue interferences in council's activities, coercion of council members, and the imposition of decisions without proper consultations, which violate the spirit and intent of Local Government Act. These developments do not augur well for ongoing and future efforts to scrupulously implement the Local Government Act, its attendant approved regulations, as well as other national instruments seeking to foster transparency and accountability, as well as place citizens at the center of decision-making on identifying, allocating, and utilizing financial and non-financial resources intended to foster inclusive, transparent, and sustainable development at county and local levels.
Harold Ado, Edo is the Executive Director of Integrity Watch Liberia there reading a press statement. Meanwhile, the CSOs are calling on political and other actors, especially members of the legislature and the executive, to respect the autonomy and independence of county councils as stipulated in the Local Government Act of 2018. Speaking at a joint press conference Tuesday, Harold Edo reminded individuals that the law clearly mandates that those councils are to operate independently, free of direct and indirect political interference, and guided by the collective will of the people they represent.
The unassigned collaborative society organizations, all current and will-be political other actors, especially members of the legislature and the executive, to respect the autonomy of independent and county councils as stipulated in the Local Government Act of 2018. We remind them that the law clearly mandates that these councils are to operate independently, free from direct and indirect political interferences, and guided by the collective will of the people they represent. The legitimacy of these councils are held groups seeking to advance personal or partisan agendas at the expense of good governance and the collective will of the people. Also, we call on the Ministry of Internal Affairs, MIA, and the legislature to take steps to investigate and address these instances of political interferences. any attempt to subvert the legitimacy function of county councils undermines Liberia's effort towards democratic decentralization, weakening local government factors and betraying the aspirations of the Liberian people. All civil society organizations, community-based organizations, traditional leaders, and future and well-meaning Liberians to remain vigilant, to speak out transparent future interferences with the composition, functions, activities, processes of county council and local government structures. Fight for transparent, accountable, and effective local government is a collective one. We must not allow vested interests to erode the gains we have made toward decentralization and democratic sustainability, which we need to sustain and scale up. We wish to reiterate that the success of Liberian decentralization hinges on our individual and collective commitment to uphold the laws of our land and to resist any direct and indirect actions that undermine the autonomy and independence of local government structures and county councils in this instance. Civil society remains resolute in the mission to promote good governance, transparency, and accountability in Liberia and in all activities and processes. We will continue to advocate for and collaborate with government, citizens, and media, development partners, and other actors for the implementation of the Local Government Act for the protection of the rights and interests of all Liberians as enshrined in the Local Government Act and other documents.
He is the executive director of Integrity Watch Liberia, his hero idol, in the press statement on behalf of the National Civil Society Council Liberia, Integrity Watch Liberia, Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, and Integrity Lab Liberia, and also NAMO Partners for Democratic Development. The chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, Dr. Benita Collins Andrews, has championed calls for more budgetary support for the institution. Addressing the press conference Tuesday, the Monroeville, that Andrews said increased budgetary support for the council by national government will enhance the operation or smooth operation of the agency. Dr. Andrews therefore highlighted some difficulties faced by the entity, ranging from the lack of funding, limited capacity building, among others. She spoke on Tuesday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. Dr. Benita Collins Andrews is the chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council. They're speaking. At the same time, Dr. Benita Collins emphasized that the Liberia Dental Council is an autonomous agency established in 2010 by the act of national legislation charged with the power to regulate and monitor medical practices or malpractices in Liberia. She is the chairperson of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council. Dr. Benita Collins Andrews, there speaking at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. Let's bring you this development on the program. The National Identification Registry is poised to celebrate Global Identification Day this Monday to be observed as a working holiday. Global Identification Day is commemorated on September 16 each year to raise awareness on the importance of legal identity for all, aligning with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9, which calls for the provision of legal identity, including birth registration, to all people by 2030. Speaking Tuesday at a press conference, that's our executive director, Andrew Peters, said the day is celebrated to lift the plight of millions of people around the world who do not have a legal identity.
The National Identification Registry is part of all African Ministry and Agency Commission. The joint force is observing Global ID Day, which will be observed throughout the Republic as a working holiday. More than 30 of African countries will be celebrating the day in their respective places. The essence of Global ID Day is to raise worldwide awareness about the importance of unique identification and to bring to the international community attention the platform millions of people who do not have legal identity. Some do not belong to any country legally because of several reasons. Some legal, political, or social. The legal identity issues in Africa are coordinated by the Pan-African group called the ID for Africa, whose activities and objectives are depicted on UNSDG 16.9, legal identity for all. Liberia is a full member of the ID for Africa Forum and one of the over 30 countries in Africa that are recognized and celebrating today. This year, ID Day will be celebrated on Monday, September 16, 2024 at the Memorial City Hall at 10 a.m. One of the global themes celebrating the right to be visible. We have the first ID Day in Liberia on September 16, 2023. This year will mark the second time we are celebrating this day. We have invited His Excellency Joseph Waka Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, to raise the occasion with his presence and to serve as the keynote speaker. The superintendents of the 15 states have also been invited, and they will be commissioned and certificated as ID ambassadors in the country. Their functions will be mainly to support national ID card activities by helping to take the issues important of the ID card to the grassroots level, where our people can better understand the importance of the national identification card using various local, traditional, and methods of communication to our people.
He is the executive director of the National Identification Registry. He's Andrew Peters. They're speaking at the press conference. Well, if you are just joining us, please be informed that you are in tune to the program News Desk for the 5 minutes of news from the News and Current Affairs Department of the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. We are transmitting for you or to you from our assigned of 96.1 and our top development, Ministry of Information denies directives from the presidency. A memo reportedly from the Ministry of Internal Affairs already employees to assemble at the Rabat International Airport this Wednesday to welcome President Joseph Boakai from China. 5 civil society organizations have expressed dismay over ongoing political interruption by some county legislative caucuses and local government authorities says it's undermined county council structures. Liberian Senate confirms Finance Minister designate Agosin Gafan following his nomination by President Joseph Barker in August this year. And away from Liberia, the former boyfriend of the Ghanaian Olympic athlete Rebecca Chidaki has died from burns sustained in the attack after killing Rebecca last week. Let's bring you this development on the program. The Ministry of Justice has confirmed the arrest of 5 inmates who were involved in Sunday jailbreak at the Kakata Central Prison in Magibi County. The Ministry of Justice earlier disclosed that about 47 inmates escaped the Kakata Central Prison during the jailbreak late Sunday evening. Speaking Tuesday at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing, a media specialist at the Ministry of Justice, Abigail Weseji, said 2 persons were arrested the same day of the incident, while the other 3 were arrested during the week.
Of the inmates, the 47 inmates, 4 are sentence inmates. That means they've gone through all the legal processes and they were serving the time that was due to their sentence. 1 was charged with aggravated assault. 3 charged with armed robbery, pending trial. 4 charged with robbery. 1 charged with contempt of force. 1 charged with disorderly conduct. 1 charged with manslaughter. 6 charged with misapplication of interest property. 5 charged with murder, including convicted. 3 charged with statutory rape. 1 charged with terroristic threats. 15 charged with theft of property, including 3 convicted. And 2 charged with drug-related offenses. If you were to calculate these numbers, the total would be 47. The age range of the escapees ranges as follows. As I speak, additional 3 of the escapees were captured or recaptured. And so, on the update of how many prisoners are now recaptured is 5. You remember when I spoke earlier, immediately 2 were apprehended, 3 more are apprehended, and we have a total of 5 jailbreakers who have been apprehended. Currently, the Ministry of Justice is working along with the joint that includes all apparatus of the security system within our country, and they're doing everything within their power to apprehend the rest of the 42 escapees. Having said that, we also have taken several other measures. From the Monrovia Central Prison, we have deployed 13 additional officers, including investigators, to help the officers at the Kakata Central Prison with this investigation. More besides, we've positioned correction officers from the Kakata Central Prison who are familiar with these escapees, and they are positioned at different checkpoints. We have people positioned at Sagala and 15 checkpoints, as well as major within Kakata to gather intelligence to assist with research. We also have people stationed at Bokman Road, Morris Farm, and within the Firestone Belt. These are the efforts that the Ministry of Justice is making to ensure that the rest of the 42 escapees are apprehended.
She is a media specialist that work at the Ministry of Justice there, giving account about the Sunday jailbreak, disclosing the arrest of 5 inmates who were involved in the Sunday jailbreak at the Kakata Central Prison in Magibi County, taking us home on today's edition of the program News Desk. But I will take leave of you, a recap of our major developments. Information denies directives from the presidency. A memo reportedly from the Ministry of Internal Affairs ordering employees to assemble at the Rabat International Airport this Wednesday to welcome President Joseph Barker and interact from 5 civil society organizations have expressed dismay about ongoing political interruption by some county legislative caucus and local government authorities, says it undermines county council structures. Liberian Senate confirms Finance Minister designate Augustin Kafan following his appointment recently by President Joseph Barker. And away from Liberia, the former boyfriend of the Ghanaian Eric, Rebecca Chinaka, has died from burns sustained in a attack after killing Rebecca last week. We'd love to say many thanks to our writers, contributors, correspondents for making today's edition of the program a success. Special thanks to FTD radio station for relaying this broadcast. Untitled Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited are our sponsors here on the News Desk program. Thanks to Kopa Sangha, who shall control and produce our sounds. Maya Topan was behind the camera, bringing us live on Real TV Live. Johnson Bantoma, I presented. Good night.
Ria TV, True FM.
Say Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into Truth FM 96.1.
What's the meaning of the black barrel?
The black barrel is to tell Joseph Bakala, if you don't organize yourself in your best manner, we'll take your later Liberia.
You might say what you want to say, but for us, we are here to make sure we build our country, that we are respected. We have donors that are coming because of the confidence.
Some news summary of 12. My name is Hansen there represent.
Welcome to News and Analysis, 30 minutes of news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and our one world.
Presenting this newscast is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited.
How is life after the presidency?
But before the presidency, the same life that what you see. I live a different life. You know, when I was not president, this life that what I live. You know, with my family and
I have a lot of interest in the health sector, the educational sector, and the agriculture sector. Roads, connecting roads in this country.
Yeah, we are calling international community to come to intervene for us because, like I just stated previously, we don't know who to trust.
Always make sure to turn on to our
Ria TV and listening to Truth FM 96.1.
Ria TV, True FM.
Starting today, why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange.